Do it now, I told you, do it now. Let's go. You wanna hate me, then hate me. What can I do but keep getting money? Funny, I was just like you. I had to hustle hard, never give up until I made it. Now y'all saying that's a clever, nothing to play with.
You can hate me now,
I won't stop,
but I won't stop now.
And we see the Spurs getting ready to go. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr with Doris Burke on our sideline. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. First for the Grizzlies, Conley and Allen are the guard set. And at the center position, an impressive combination of size and skill. The 7'1" Spaniard, Marc Gasol. Then there's Tayshaun Prince, and it's Randolph in at the power forward position. And for San Antonio, Tony Parker is out there with Kawhi Leonard. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then it's Green, and it's Duncan in at the 4 spot.
You know, guys, you look at the roster of this Memphis team, and they have a lot to offer. Size and strength inside, playmakers on the perimeter, and improving an outstanding point guard in Mike Conley Jr., but you have to wonder, have they hit their ceiling?
And it's going to be San Antonio off the tip. Parker kicks to Green. Pass to Duncan. They get a hand on it. Outside Conley. Left side Randolph. That's good. Well, Clark had talked about the Grizzlies don't have a megastar that other teams do to lean on in crunch time. And Steve, you know, they traded the closest thing to that in Rudy Gay last season.
Well, closest thing is right, Kevin. Rudy Gay was not a superstar. He was very, very good, but if he was a true superstar, they would not have moved him. So I think they just felt like they couldn't afford Gay's contract. They wanted to move on and play through their big men, Gasol and Randolph. And I think in the end, probably a wise decision because the team performed very well without Gay anyway.
And a fast break now for the Spurs. Parker's running. And Duncan gets it to go on the assist by Parker.
Well, a beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
Here's Conley. And Doris Burke caught up with Coach Greg Popovich. Doris?
On his mind, the difficult task of defending Zach Randolph. He said, Randolph's especially tough because he's not only a go-to scorer on the low block and the pinch post, but also a guy who can pick up a lot of second chance points with his work on the glass. He's a 20 and 10 double-double guy for a reason. We'll have our hands full trying to slow him down. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Doris.
Well, you know, when they need a big three, he's the guy they look to. He's about as reliable a deep threat as you're going to find.
And you know, at the end of the day, Steve, you just have to respect his overall defensive acumen. I mean, it's not just one thing he does well at that end. He knows how to guard from A to Z.
No good on the free throw.
The Spurs would end up as the second seed in the West and were right in the hunt for being the top seed for the majority of last season. But one reason they fell short was that they just weren't as good as they needed to be during in-conference games.
And he sinks the second. Going back to the Spurs, they did well against the West, but Steve didn't come close to matching the win totals of every other top team in the West.
Yeah, they would end the season with a 33-19 conference record, which, you know, is pretty good, but still only 5th best in the West. It shows you how strong the Western Conference was a year ago, particularly at the top. That's a low percentage shot right there.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, he's got to be thinking out there a little better. Make the pass in that situation. Don't force a bad shot.
Ginobili the pass to Parker. Good work defensively by Conley.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them.
At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Spurs lead by 1. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
And the defense has been key in building this lead. They've really clamped down hard.
They've done a nice job, Steve. I think challenging every shot, a hand up on every shot.
So it's the Grizzlies now. They trail by 1. Pass to Bayless. He dishes it to Davis. Some nice passing there by Memphis. And that comes off the assist by Jared Bayless. Davis has got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Grizzlies.
You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
And Memphis making a change here. Randolph is checked in. Davis dishes to Conley. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And back to Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players and have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together.
A lot of what Memphis has done to build its team would have to be considered taking the undervalued approach. You look at guys like Zebo, Marc Gasol, and most recently Jared Bayless. Those were good players that really have found a nice home in Memphis.
Tayshaun Prince is checked in for the Grizzlies. Tipped away. Diallo, covered by Conley. Back to Parker. Manu Ginobili on the wing. Parker outside. Shot clock at 6. On the money from 12 feet away. Parker's got his first bucket in this one. Well, Clark just talking about Memphis. They really have taken a group of players that were thought to be non-impact roster spots, and Steve, they've turned things around with them.
Kind of comes across in the way the entire team plays. It's a blue-collar group, Kevin. Some cast-offs, guys with a chip on their shoulder, but they've got a toughness and an edge about them. And I think it's really helped this team create its identity.
Ellinelli. Pass to Bonner. 14 feet away. Misses off the right eye. Memphis trailing here. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Here's Bayless. And he slams that one down. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, no team able to build a big lead early on. I mean, it's tight.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, both teams still kind of feeling each other out here, and neither team has been able to find an edge in this game.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. "17 seconds left in the first half of the game. Conley kicks to Bayless. Back to Conley. Feeds it to Bayless. And another miss by Memphis. Here's Splitter, and released it in time, but it's off the mark. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Memphis out in front. They're up by 1. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Happy Tuesday to all of you from us at 2K Sports. I'm Damon Bruce. Memphis on top against San Antonio. They've been aggressively attacking the rack, getting a lot of points right at the rim. A productive first half for Zach Randolph. Nothing comes easy. He's done the hard work, and they could pull it out once they get to the second half. And for San Antonio, they're looking good in their own right. A gritty, hard-nosed effort. They're hungry for the win. They're making their own luck. Tony Parker's dishing it out, and the other team is taking it. And, of course, Tim Duncan also making his presence felt. Now let's head back out to the start of the second half. Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke take it away.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Visitors travel on foot and by boat along the gorgeous Riverwalk here in San Antonio, Texas. Welcome back, everyone. Memphis leading.
Well, throughout the league and its history, defense has always traveled well. And to be good and consistently good in the NBA, you've got to bring that defensive mindset and execution. Offense comes and goes, defense stays.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Tony Parker and teammate Boris Diaw have known each other since high school back in France. Boris says of Tony, quote, he's a point guard who can do it all. He can be an organizer and make the team play. Other times, he's going to be a scoring point guard. It's pretty rare to have both. And guys, Coach Popovich talked about how Parker's decision-making has matured as far as reading when to pass and when to score. He's found a great balance as the years have gone on, guys.
He can do it all, Doris. Pass, shoot, a special talent. Spurs trail by 3. Well, Clark, you said defense a part of the game that never has an off night. And it's why the Grizzlies, Steve, were so tough on the road and really such a tough team in general.
Well, 24-17 on the road is an amazing record for any club. And I think Memphis, they did it with their defense and their rebounding. They were able to enforce their identity on teams on the road with that toughness, with that edge, and it really paid off big time.
Conley, the pass to Gasol. Back to Conley. Lock at 6. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. And goaltending is going to be the call. So they get the basket there anyway.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
And the crowd immediately letting the officials have it after that whistle.
A very unpopular call there.
Diaw dishes to split it. He feeds it to Parker. And there's the pass to Ginobili. Back to Parker. Allen with the rebound.
Obviously, they're evenly matched teams on the inside. The rebound numbers are very even.
Yeah, I've been impressed with just both teams' energy, just really working hard on the board.
Pondexter kicks to Allen. He passes it to Pondexter. Dishes it to Conley. And the rejection by Diaw. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Grizzlies lead by 2. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is up to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
Well, they're getting into the paint with their penetration, and it's really been key for this club.
You know, they're taking care of business in the paint, too. Those are valuable points they've been getting down low.
Here's Duncan. And the jumpers from down low is good. Duncan's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Spurs. Outside Conley. Back to Randolph. The 8-footer. No good. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Green kicks to Leonard. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. And for the Grizzlies, they're shooting 43% for the game. Conley with it. Leonard picks him up. Kicks to Randolph. San Antonio with the rebound. The feed to Green. Outside Leonard. He kicks to Duncan. Takes the lead. Duncan's got 4 points in the quarter.
You know, with all the shots they've knocked down here in the second half, their field goal percentage has crossed the 50% mark.
Well, and that usually leads to a win. I mean, this is just very efficient offense that we're seeing tonight. Huge points.
That's beyond huge, Steve. I mean, they needed that bucket desperately.
Spurs have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. He tries for 3. Offensive rebound. Goes back up. Money!
Watch out now. Duncan is caught fire.
Grizzlies have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Pondexter, the pass to Conley. Misses the tray. The Spurs have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Bellinelli dishes to Green. Leonard defended by Allen.
Terrible defense for both teams. Just atrocious.
Yeah, it's been awful, Steve. I don't know any other way to say it, and I'm sure both teams will get an earful from their coaches.
Here's Pondexter. Here's Randolph. Tim Duncan with the rebound.
That's what they call the $1 million move with the 10-cent finish.
And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty. Here is Splitter. There's the dish to Duncan. And yes, sir, that one drops. And the Spurs lead by 6.
An example right there, guys, of how even as their lead grew into a big one, they never started coasting.
That's the truth. I mean, they've been in charge of this game all the way through.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. They're behind by 6. 9 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
I think they have to go for a 3 right now, don't you, Clark?
Yeah, I don't think they have any choice but to go for the 3, Steve.
Nine seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Parker with the steal. And they go to the intentional foul. First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game. Timeout called, the Grizzlies. They trail by 8. 5 seconds left to play in the final quarter. What's your take, guys?
Well, they can game plan all they want, but there's not enough time left for them to come back and win this game.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what they think they're going to pull off here.
Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Here's Prince. It's good from beyond the arc. And so it's San Antonio with the win. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Steve Norris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Tony Parker.
Yeah. It's been a ride. I guess I had to go to that place to get to this one. Now some of you might still be in that place. If you're trying to get out, just follow me. I'll get you there. You can try and read my lyrics off of this paper before I lay 'em, but you won't take the sting out these words before I say 'em, 'cause ain't no we make it cool. Yeah. It's been a ride. I guess I had to go to that place to get to this one. Now some of you might still be in that place. If you're trying to get out, just follow me. I'll get you there. You can try and